Conventional evidence is always evidence that has been filtered and screened, even if the filtering and the screening is what goes into a scholarly journal. And I think that really from Joel onwards, but also reflected in Nora's presentation, and then, most recently by both me and Aynur, the question is, how do we constitute evidence with populations who are not contributing to an evidence base either through their work or because they've been counted in the first place. And I guess that we're always capturing evidence, including in informal ways, and the unsettling of what knowledge is, of what reliable evidence is, and of how that can be used to inform policy really needs to be rethought. So, I mean, if I'd like to actually follow up from Anna's point around timely action and anticipating. And of course, if you're doing any kind of future modeling, you're working with some educated guesses so that that can be easily dismissed. And we're watching the cost of that, and we're working against ticking timelines in that respect right now for both antimicrobial resistance and for the costs of climate change. But if we rely on a particular canon of what constitutes knowledge, then there will never be evidence, and we will always be back on the back foot.
When we talk about evidence, one thing I realized that seems to be a lot of case studies, reports, but all of them, unfortunately, looks at the evidence from a project point of view, which is really, honestly, disappointing. We need to, I don't know how to get out of this, to be honest, but I wish there could be evidence looking at and capturing what actually worked from a much wider perspective. Whereas we see that every organization is just trying to prove that they did right, which is understandable, and we do the same, to be honest. Like, we're not kind of out of this, but this is not working really. I mean, when we go to the communities and show them the reports, they don't really relate to it. It's not like their lives. It's that I have personally seen that. It's not what happened to them is not really reflected, but what is reflected is an organization's project and this and that, which is really sad. So I wish we could find a way, unfortunately, and I could propose a very practical way. I don't, but hopefully I'm hoping that with citizen participation, citizen science, people having more voice, eventually we will get there, and people actually tell their own stories rather than us giving a very different.